Find the orthocenter of the triangle with vertices at A, which is -5, 1, B, -2, -4, and C, 3, 1. So let's plot those points. A is going to be at -5, 1. B is going to be at -2, -4. And C is at 3, 1. So now I'll connect those points to make the triangle. Okay, there's the triangle. We want to find the orthocenter. The orthocenter is the point of concurrency of the altitudes. Now the altitude runs perpendicular to the side of the triangle and through the vertex. So for example, I'll select this segment AC because it's horizontal. The altitude has to run vertically, and it's going to run vertically through the vertex B. So basically I just need to draw that. There's one of the altitudes. Okay. Remember, the altitude is perpendicular to the side of the triangle. So if you find the slope, you can easily determine the perpendicular slope. For example, this segment BC, the pattern is right 1, up 1, so the slope is +1. That means that the altitude slope is going to be -1. Because remember, the slope of a perpendicular is the opposite reciprocal. So if the slope is m, the perpendicular slope is -1 over m. Okay, so I'm going to be going from vertex A, and the slope is -1, so I'm just going a pattern down 1, right 1, like that. Okay, now I have two intersections of altitudes, and that should be enough to conclude where the orthocenter is, but I like to do all three to make sure I didn't make a mistake. So let's look for a pattern in the slope for this AB. That's the last side we're going to do an altitude for. So it goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then right 3. So the slope for segment AB is -4/3. And that means that the perpendicular slope is going to be +3/4. So I do the negative reciprocal. So that means from C, I'm going to have a slope of 3/4, which goes right here. Okay, now if you look, there's a problem with the point of concurrency here. And that means I made a mistake somewhere, so let's try and figure this out. First thing I like to check is make sure I plotted my points correctly. So I have A, -5, 1, B, -2, -4, C, 3, 1. Those are all correct. My first altitude is correct because it's vertical. So I'm concerned about the second altitude here. Is it really -1? I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it is. So that one's correct. Now, how about this guy here? Oh, I think I counted wrong. Look. If I count from point A all the way down to here, it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this should be 5. And then it goes right 3. So instead of having -4/3, it should have been 5/3. Which means the altitude slope should have been 3/5. Okay, so from point C, should have a slope of 3/5. So that would be right through there. All I'm doing is I kind of work backwards. So I know if the slope has to be 3/5, it's going to be the pattern up 3, right 5, up 3, right 5. So I just kind of work backwards mentally. So in other words, if I were to go from this point here, I would go up 3 and then right 5. and that gives me the slope of 3/5. So I was just kind of working backwards mentally. And if it's helpful for you, go ahead and draw the pattern in the points to help you get the correct slope for these altitudes. And that'll make it easier for you. If you're having a hard time just visualizing, you can plot the points and then use that pattern in points for the rate of change. So example, if I would go here, and then here, and then here, that would be my pattern in the points, up 3, right 5 each time. Okay, so there's a lot going on for this problem. I plotted the vertices for the triangle and then connected the vertices to make it. And then I started doing the altitudes. And I did all three to make sure that I didn't make a mistake. And in this case, it actually worked out well because I found out that I did make a mistake on one of the altitudes. And that's why they didn't all intersect at the same point. But I was able to fix my mistake and make sure I found the correct orthocenter. So the coordinates for the orthocenter, it is -2, and then it's also down 2, so it's going to be -2, -2. Just like that. Remember, the orthocenter is the point of concurrency of the altitudes.